Hey guys, it's Christina and welcome to our Bachelor finale recap. Literally the most dramatic finale ever.
Amazing.
Yes,
Finally,
amazing. We finally got one.
Finally.
So excited to join Jacqueline. She was on Arie's season, of course, so welcome.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
for
Thank you for
recapping the
coming.
finale, and of course Jamie.
Hi.
Yay.
This is lackluster, and
And Jamie's here.
yes.
First of all, I want to give a quick, before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to shopbetches.com, who provided us with these amazing t-shirts, the most dramatic season ever. So thank you. If you want one, go over there right now because
They're
they're
super
fantastic.
comfy.
They're super fun. They're super comfy. Okay, let's get right into it because there is a lot to break down. What was your reaction after watching the past two nights? Since you know firsthand, you know Arie, you know Becca, you know Lauren. Oof.
Well, I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
So that definitely tempered it. But it was still really, it was just really shocking watching it live. I mean, I went back and forth between thinking it was like super invasive and inappropriate and then thinking this is what we signed up for and we do need to see the story. And in a way, I always called it psychological skydiving. I was like, if I'm going on this, then I'm dedicating myself to being exposed and dealing with that, like other people having opinions about my life. And so, yeah, I mean, this was that to the extreme. And but I was most taken with how graceful Becca was. I thought that, I mean, it was unbelievable. I don't know if
It was insane.
No, totally. I wouldn't be able to keep it together.
And,
It would have
yeah.
punched him in the face.
and also how emotionless Arie was. That was really weird to me.
That's what
Yes.
I mean, he's proven that throughout the entire season. He has no remorse half the time. I mean, you might have seen it differently from what we saw on TV, but he never shows emotion for people.
No, not at all.
Like he's breaking up with Becca, and he's like, "It's amazing.
It's
Everything will be
amazing.
okay.
You'll be
Don't
fine.
worry."
I'm doing you a favor. Well,
He
you
was.
did.
He did.
I mean, I have to think that was the edit though, because I can tell you, like my breakup, he was very emotional.
Was he? But
Yeah.
even during the unedited breakup, it didn't really seem like there was much.
No, especially in that. That's
Right?
what was so
yeah,
weird.
that's what's so weird.
Yeah.
Like you are breaking somebody's heart. She is like literally her entire future was crumbling. She thought she was going to marry you,
Yeah.
and you're now telling her that
I
you
don't
made a
know.
mistake.
Maybe he just went in so rehearsed and
I
probably didn't
Probably,
really.
yeah. He like
Puppet.
knew exactly what he was
I
going
would
to
have
say.
taken that ring off and thrown it at his face. It would have fallen. I would have picked it up again, thrown it
Yeah,
at his face.
seriously. Sawyer says the only good thing about this season was the ladies. I agree.
Yes.
I'll take it.
Yes.
You guys
It
were
was a great group of girls.
bunch.
Yes, I want to remind everybody to please send in your questions and your comments because I'm sure you have a lot because it's a lot to break down. Okay,
5
so
hours.
yeah, 5 hours. So let's kick it off with our Bachelor buzzwords. Mine was the ultimate revenge because when Becca walked out in that gold dress, she was like, "I am here. I am okay." You know, we said she handled this so gracefully, and I think that is like the ultimate revenge. And when she was like, you know, I don't need you. I don't need any of this. I'm going to be the Bachelorette. I'm fine. So
She got that Bachelorette makeover. You could tell.
Oh,
Like, she looked
totally.
like ABC had like groomed her head to toe. She looked
She's
fantastic.
like Cleopatra.
She
She's
did.
decked out in
Yeah,
gold.
she looks
Yeah.
great.
The gold dress is amazing.
yeah, and I mean
Yeah.
the way that she handled everything is as classy as you can possibly be, and I applaud her. I thought she did a great job.
Yeah.
Jacqueline, how about you?
Well, to quote Lauren, wow. And to quote Becca, damn.
Yeah.
Like those are both of their buzzwords and they really apply to this
Totally.
episode.
It
So.
really
Oh,
did.
okay, that's amazing. Oh God,
Jane?
I can't believe I just said that's amazing. With Get Out, it was like a whole. It was like the Get Out sequel that Jordan Peele has been discussing. When I wanted to call her Lauren, Rebecca was like, "Please leave," and Arie's like, "Uh huh." Just like
God.
want to make sure you're okay. And he's like, she kept saying, "Get out," like leave.
Yes.
So that and just the fact that I'm happy this season is over and can get out.
Get
of the
out.
way. And now it's
Thanks,
time.
guys.
No offense to you.
No offense.
And now it's time for The Bachelor, which I personally am a big fan of.
I'm yes, 100%. Okay, that kind of segues into our cringeworthy moments. I know Jacqueline, a big one for you, obviously for everybody, was the breakup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, it was the breakup, but then for me, the breakup was so cringy from his perspective, but I thought Becca did such an awesome job that that kind of salvaged that,
Yeah.
sort of. I mean, not really, but the cringeworthy moment for me was the Virginia Beach conversation with Lauren when she asked if he's over Becca, and he said 1,000%, and he was engaged to her like half an hour before.
It's so horrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I get trying to reassure her, but poor Becca, like that's hard. Like you're on camera, be a
Right.
little smarter.
It just
Yeah.
it makes you wonder what the timeline really was, like how early he started talking to her, because like he
Well, he
knew
said-
going into that house that to see Lauren that everything was going to be okay. Of
Amazing.
course. Amazing. Everything was going to be amazing. So it just makes you wonder like how long this was going on for, and why did you propose?
That's what I don't understand. One, why he proposed if he was so torn, and two, why he chose Becca, it seemed like he had the stronger connection with Lauren.
Yeah.
And that Lauren just kind of scared him. Like his feelings for Lauren scared him, so that's why he ran away, which is so stupid.
Yeah. Linda says, so tired of the Arie Bash Fest train.
Sorry.
Well, Linda, tell us why you're defending Arie. I mean, you saw Arie firsthand. You know Arie. Was this out of character? Was this something that surprised you?
I mean, I actually typically do defend him.
Yeah.
The problem is that, so I don't think he's a bad guy. I really do like him, but it was just such a terrible thing to do.
Yeah.
And the problem is, I mean, there is so much pressure to have an engagement at the end. And not only from producers or the audience or whatever, but I think he probably spent the whole season pumping himself up for this and saying, like, I want to be engaged. I want this proposal. And so it's really hard to get down to the end of the line. Also, like, I think that, you know, when you're in that position, you don't have anybody to empathize with because nobody else is in love with two people at the same time.
True.
And he may have just thought that this was just how it's supposed to feel, and he was just doing it. But man, I mean, that really went up in flames.
It did.
Yeah.
I mean, we were saying this yesterday when we were talking. I don't fault him for changing his mind.
Not at all.
Because you're only dating somebody for a couple weeks, a couple months, and then you're only dating each other for a couple months afterwards. You realize, okay, this is not the right fit. It's just the way he went about doing it. That's what bothers me.
If your heart isn't completely 100% in it, you should call it an engagement. Like, you did her a favor in doing so. But it was the fact that he did it on TV, that he was obviously coerced into doing it by...
And they tricked her. Like,
completely.
I know,
oh my
she
gosh.
walked into a
She had
trap.
no
She
idea.
did. She had no idea. Like, in that pre-interview, she's like, I'm so excited. I love my ring, blah, blah, blah. And then you're blindsided. Like, that's just dirty.
And it's interesting because this obviously happened with Jason and Molly, but Jason had broken up with Melissa. He said, I have to do it privately. She knew that this was going to happen, and then they kind of redid it on After the Final Rose. The only thing she didn't know is that he was going to get back together with Molly. So basically, that's the only reason producers would let him get back together with Molly and spend time with her before After the Rose aired was if he broke up with Melissa on air. But, like, she knew it was coming. She wasn't completely blindsided, where, like, Becca was literally filmed being like, I've never been in love like this, and, like, I have a future.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the contract said or what he was beholden to, but, I mean, he was able to contact Lauren. Like, he does have her Instagram. She could have given the number. So it's hard to say. I don't know. Like, I feel like if he really wanted to do it the right way, he could have, which is my sticking point.
Sure.
But
what was the connection like between Arie and Becca from your perspective and Arie and Lauren while on the season?
You know, Becca did a really good job. So, I mean, she had the first date, right? So she had one of the earliest relationships. But she did a really intentional job of not flaunting that, staying kind of in the background, even like in group dates. Whenever he would take another girl on a date, she'd go, don't keep her out too late. And we like made fun of her for that because it's the same line every time. It was a little bit self-soothing in a way, like make a joke of a sad situation. So, I mean, she put a little bit of a distance between herself and him in front of us, so I didn't actually see the chemistry.
Right.
But that didn't mean that they didn't have an amazing relationship and amazing chemistry together. I think that was really respectful of her. Lauren's relationship started a little bit later. I think everybody could see kind of a magnetism there. But she was pretty private about it too. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see she's private about her feelings. She's very reserved. But then I left like the week that their relationship really ramped up. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of that, Sarah says, Arie was most emotional during your breakup. Do you have any regrets leaving?
No.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. You know, I did not leave because of my career. I think a lot of people think that, or at least I didn't leave because of, you know, a PhD. And I just want to say that because he had indicated that he would support me in that. He said that he would consider moving for that. So, and I always defended him on that just because I think it's a little bit unfair that people think that he was that rigid. I left because I didn't think we were long-term compatible at all. I mean, I thought maybe if we had like an appropriate amount of time, like a year in real land, we could have come together a little bit more, but our interests were so separate. I'm bad at literally everything he excels in. I mean, I can't even drive a car. Like,
that's amazing.
Yeah, and kind of vice versa. So
it's
just, it was much more of like, we're just not the right fit, but I did have deep feelings for him, and I think those were reciprocated. And the breakup, I mean, it was very emotional. It was more emotional than was shown. That's why I was sobbing, making out with him, you know, everything. But yeah, no, it was definitely the right decision for that relationship to end.
You had a great date to go out on.
Tuscany?
When like the date prior to like to you deciding to leave. It was a great one-on-one date.
It was a great one-on-one date, and I got to pick the restaurant where we ate too.
Oh,
that's
so
cool.
yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
It
I
was,
always give people credit for leaving on their own because I think
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
people do just get like sucked in. They're like, oh, figure it out. Like if it works, it works. But I always give people credit for like, you know what? Like I'm not going to waste your time. You're not going to waste mine. Let me go.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, it also reminds us that women do have agency. I mean, it's not really a show about a man picking a woman.
Of course,
Like,
yeah, pick each other.
It really is. It's supposed to be mutual.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Linda says he went with the safe choice. Everyone told him to pick Becca. He felt pressure, made a mistake, had to go with his heart. We agree with that. We
Yes,
totally
that's
agree with
fine.
that. It is just the way that
He
maybe
handled
he and then the network probably went about it. I don't agree with exploiting
It gave
somebody's
me
heartbreak
anxiety.
like that.
I was just like sitting there. I was like,
Yeah.
like, I woke up the next morning. I was like, why do I feel so anxious? And I was like, all right,
Right.
The Bachelor.
Right, and why do I feel so dirty?
Yeah.
Jamie, what was another cringeworthy moment for you?
Oh my God, I'm still over this. Arie proposing to Lauren right in front of Becca. Like she's right. Like literally, if I was Becca, Arie and Lauren got engaged right here. It was just so. I literally audibly gasped and was started talking to myself. I was like, he's not doing this. He's not doing this. And I was like, oh my God, he's doing it.
Yeah. Were you
Yeah.
shocked by the proposal?
No, I kind
No.
of expected it.
Yeah.
It's just become de rigueur at this point. Like it seems like every time there's an after the final whatever,
Somebody has to get engaged. Yeah.
It's I mean, it's getting kind of.
It feels forced.
It's oversaturated.
Yeah.
The proposal.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, it's not that I wasn't expecting it. It was the fact that Becca was sitting there. Like,
Right.
you
Yeah.
should have waited for her to go backstage.
Yeah.
Just give her 5 minutes.
Give her 5 minutes, yeah. Anything else, Jamie? Or is
Oh
that it?
yes, I also liked the little foreshadowing earlier in the night on Monday when Arie proposed and Becca broke her rose in half.
Yeah. There was a lot of
We shoulda
foreshadowing, I
known.
think, going into this. Like,
Yeah.
there was also, like, I think these little clues every now and then. I think Arie said multiple times throughout the show that his biggest fear was choosing the wrong woman.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. And Lauren's biggest fear was being,
Dumped.
dumped.
right, yeah, totally. Deborah on YouTube is asking, why didn't Becca throw the ring at him? Girl, I don't
That's
know.
what I said. We're on YouTube.
Out of respect to Neil Lane, I don't
Right,
know.
oh, that's true.
Nice
I wouldn't
ring.
want to.
True.
I wouldn't want to throw that ring. That ring was beautiful.
Yeah, but Neil Lane recycles them too. The ring that Robbie proposed to JoJo with is the same ring that Nick Viall gave to Vanessa.
Oh,
Like, it's
really?
not, like he just has like a
He's got his
set of
Bachelor rings on standby.
Yeah. It's not like he's like, pick any ring. He's like, here's 7 rings I have that I've
Right.
given out for the past 20 years.
Right. They're
Yeah.
all beautiful, though. All right, let's move on to best line. My best line goes to Becca for standing up to Arie during a really uncomfortable moment. Take a look.
I moved on. I'm ready for the next chapter of my life to be happy, to find somebody better suited for me, like I hope Lauren is for you.
His face.
No emotion whatsoever.
He got a little too much Botox.
Maybe, can't move. But I thought, like we said before, I thought she handled this as best as anybody possibly could. Because,
Yeah.
oh my God.
I
can't
loved
even
too
imagine.
when Chris Harrison was like, do you have anything to say to Arie? Just like a few things. I would have whipped
Yeah.
out like a whiteboard with visual aids. I would have been like, all right, here. Oh, I
Yeah.
would have let that man have it.
Another one went to, Becca's Bachelorette journey began at the end of the show last night, and we got to be introduced to some of the men that will be competing for her heart, and one of them had a great thing to say. Take a look.
When you fall off the horse, you got to get back up again. So, Becca, I brought you this horse,
Okay.
and I want to be the man who's going to help you get back up again.
I cried.
So cute.
I loved that. He
Yeah.
was a nice man. But then, I don't know his name, but the horse is Bradley.
Yeah, the horse was, his name is Blake.
Oh, okay. Because I remember texting you guys and being like, I love this guy, what's his name? And you were like, Bradley. I was like, no, it's the horse.
It was great. Jacqueline, how about you?
My favorite was when he told her that he was going back to Lauren. She said, "Are you effing kidding me?" And I just I love this because it was not only disappointment with Arie, but almost like the whole male half of the
Yes.
species.
Oh,
I
totally.
felt like that was for all of us.
Right, it
women.
was.
really
Are
is.
you effing kidding me?
Which is what you can say to basically any man at
Yeah.
any given time.
Done. Yeah.
Totally. Jamie?
My best line goes to Lauren and Arie describing Machu Picchu with their thesaurus and their synonyms. Check it out.
That's incredible.
That is amazing.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
That's so cool.
Machu Picchu is so cool. I mean, The Bachelor is the 8th wonder of the world. It's the 9th wonder.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Was she very quiet in the house?
Yeah, she's a lot wittier than what you're seeing.
Yeah.
She was quiet, but she's actually pretty easy to talk to. And she's pretty funny. So
Yeah.
I just wonder if that showed with him. I don't know if it did, or if that was just taken out, or what.
Maybe. I don't know. What was he funny? Was he witty? Like,
Was he funny and witty?
yeah.
If you say yes, I will actually be floored.
I know. What is he really like?
I just don't think he's
Dove.
smart enough to be witty. Not that that's anything against him. I just don't
I feel
think
like I
he's.
can't comment.
I mean, how many times? Every time he talked to you, and you would be like talking about your PhD, and he was like, "I didn't even go to college. I worked at Pizza Hut." I was like, "Is Pizza Hut sponsoring this season?" All the time.
Okay. I always have to, okay, he's more of like a how person. He's a problem solver. He was reading this book of like Google interview questions and like solving them. Like I couldn't get any of those. So he's like, I don't know, man.
Wait, what is like the Google interview question? Like, what kind of questions?
It'd be like, you're like an inch tall and stuck in a blender, and how do you get out? I mean,
okay.
I don't know questions like that.
How do you get out?
I don't know. I don't know.
Ask him. Oh my God, that's amazing.
my
Liz
God.
says everyone in the house said they knew Brian would win last season. Did you ever know?
Oh, that's a good question.
Did you ever know who was going to win?
Did you have a feeling?
Did you have a feeling?
That Becca would win?
Yeah.
Slash Lauren.
Yeah.
You know, I thought Lauren would win.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it kind of changes. Like I remember after we got off the show, then we had this like big group chat, and everybody thought that Becca was gonna win.
Okay.
And so then I kind of was like, oh, maybe she will. But
Sure.
I always felt like Lauren was the epitome of his type. So
Yeah. Did you talk to Becca and Lauren after?
yeah.
Yeah.
I had a really, really long conversation with Lauren around Christmas. So
Okay.
that was before Arie reached out to her.
Yeah.
I don't really want to talk about it a lot. 'cause
Yeah,
it's, you know,
totally.
yeah.
Of course.
But I know she was very, very sad, very shocked, had completely thought that they were going to get engaged with reason.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly.
Right. Totally.
Yeah, so.
Was she hopeful to maybe get back together, or did she?
I don't think she believed that it was going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I think her attitude, because also what happens is when you break up, I don't know, like rumors start flying and people tell you things you don't really
course,
know,
yeah.
and so I think that you stop knowing what to trust, and if what happened was real, and if what he said was true, you know, all these things, and so I think she was probably dealing with some feelings of betrayal and confusion.
yeah.
But I mean, I know that she missed him a ton, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, seems like they're happy, so we'll have to
see.
wait and see. Yeah. Bethany says, "Are the kisses as gross as they look?"
No. He's a good kisser.
Everyone was making fun of me because on Emily's season, like he's the kissing bandit for a reason. Like he's
Yeah.
a good kisser, but this season it looked a little. He used that in practice or something.
But he's a good kisser.
He's a good kisser.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Pack their bags. Of course, you know, what was yours?
Oh,
I was
you know
gonna-
what? I'm going to say Neil Lane. I feel
Okay.
like he should maybe
Get a
not
Neil.
hand out a ring for just a little while.
This is all Neil Lane's fault. He's cursing
is.
everybody.
Him and Chris
Exactly.
Harrison both don't age. It scares me.
Yeah, totally.
Totally.
Scares me.
What about you, Jean?
Mine goes to Chris Harrison. He was far too giddy about Becca's
He's loving this.
heartbreak on Monday night. He was like so amped, so excited. And then also it goes to Lauren and Arie. Just because I don't like the way that Arie handled it, and I think Lauren maybe should have been more cautious taking him back, or
Yeah.
maybe should have not. I know she missed him so much, but also he literally just got engaged and
Sure.
broke up with someone.
Yeah. Mine, of course, was Arie and Lauren as well, but also the producer that was with Becca before the breakup when she was doing like this interview about saying how great her
ITMs.
ring was. Like that producer is evil. Like
Yeah.
you knew exactly what was about to go down, and this poor girl is just so excited and just like spilling her heart out. Can't wait to see her fiance walk through that door, and then just
It was literally
I
like
didn't
an
like that.
episode of Unreal.
it 100%. Yeah.
Also, after both episodes, the credits said the producers would like to thank Bachelor Nation, which I just thought was hysterical. I was like, right now they're not happy.
Interesting. Yeah, that was a really hard thing to watch. I think they could have probably left that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Roses of the night. Mine went to Becca and her new boys. Get it, girl. And then Becca M. calling out Arie during the show, and then also her face during the proposal to
so
Lauren when
good.
she was just like, nah.
She was also
not happening.
crying at one point.
Was she?
Yeah. I love her
up?
statement earrings. I think her statement earrings have a little more personality than Arie and Lauren.
Those are new too. I wonder if she got some sort of
I
sponsorship.
know.
mean,
She's
just
been
many.
all about the statement earrings.
Yeah.
Jacqueline, how about you?
I mean, I'm just giving a collective roast to Becca. She
Yeah.
just
Yes.
she handled it so well, and we didn't really get to see like a lot of her until the last few episodes.
Right.
Weirdly enough,
Right.
like yeah, and I feel like her strength and personality really showed, especially during the last 2 nights. So.
Yeah, totally.
We were just talking about that beforehand, that we really don't know Becca outside of the breakup.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's been rallying it for her to be the Bachelor, but like, I didn't know who she was basically before. Like, I
Yeah.
know nothing about her.
We're going to learn a lot more about her coming
Learn
up.
so
Yeah.
much.
What about you?
My rose goes to Bradley the horse. What a cute name for a horse.
It is.
Bradley. And also, obviously, Becca.
Yeah.
Because I have a soul. Obviously, I'm going to give it to her.
Totally. Jacqueline, what's next for you? Would you ever consider going on Paradise or doing anything like that?
I mean, I consider it. It's gonna just depend. It's a few months away, so it's
Right.
not really urgent. It's gonna depend on whether my boss would be very angry at me for asking for more time off work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then whether I'm in a relationship at the time.
Sure. Do you still
Yeah.
believe in this process?
I mean, yeah. I don't. Okay. I've always been conflicted about this, but I went in open to it, and I will say that you develop very strong feelings. There are elements of it that really do work. I think even sitting down on a first date and talking about marriage and kids and your future,
Yeah.
and like normally on a New York and a first date, it's like I'm gonna steer so clear about any of those topics because I mean
Right.
I'm just gonna be like I'm not, I'm a cool girl. Like,
Yeah.
whatever you're up for,
Yeah.
So it really, I mean, it does work in a sense, but you see, like, it gets so confusing at the end, and I don't know that people are able to make their best, truest decisions, and so that's my concern with it. But, Paradise is just a great place to meet somebody who's serious and see what can happen, so I believe in that.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Love Bachelor in
Love Paradise.
I
Paradise.
do too, actually.
Tom is asking, will Becca's ex be one of the contenders? Something tells me no.
She
Something tells me
tweeted that he's like a toxic human.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's gonna be a no.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Jenny is asking, how is your PhD going?
I am not in a PhD program,
Okay.
so I
Oh,
just wanted
okay.
to make that clear. Yeah, it is purely an aspiration. The reason I talked about it to any extent is just that I'm kind of like on a pre-PhD track.
Got it.
My job is the kind of job you're only really going to do if you're intending to go to med school or a PhD program. And so the last 3 years have been totally dedicated to building up my resume to get into a program. But they're extremely competitive. I'm applying in December, so I won't know for a while.
Okay.
But fingers crossed.
Yeah, good luck.
exciting.
That's so exciting. Very great. Well, thank you so much for coming
Thank
by
you
and
for
helping us
coming.
break down The Bachelor and giving us some insight on what really goes down behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I really
absolutely.
appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Another season is officially in the books. We did it. Yay. But we will see you back at the end of May for The
Congrats.
Bachelorette.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And thanks again to shopbetches.com for our tank tops. Thanks, guys. Thanks for all
jealous.
your comments. Oh yes, before we go, Arie's word of the season was amazing. So we thought it would be fun to put together a little montage of all the times he said amazing. So we will leave you with that. Thanks, guys.
I think it's going to be such an amazing week, and it's been really amazing thus far. Here's to an amazing day so far. And we have this really amazing chemistry. I really find you amazing. You are amazing again. She is so amazing. This could be the beginning of something amazing. This is the start of something amazing. Today was amazing. Amazing and amazing, amazing, amazing. Amazing.
Amazing, 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 amazing.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Amazing. That was amazing.